my company's 9 years now. The year before I started my company, I was working with him. The way we would pull jobs at the time, he was pulling way more than me, and the way we set it up was my dad was working for the company we subcontract for, and I was working for my uncle, and my cousin was also around as well. The goal was is as soon as we finished our regular day around 2 o'clock, we would rush back to the shop to load up to work till 7 o'clock on our side jobs, and we would do that 2 to 3 times a week, depending on weather and like how we were completing our first job, just to make, because we had to get out of the first job to get to the second job. So we did this and also work Saturdays, but we would tag team a job. So if it was my dad, my uncle, me, and my cousin, we could kill a $10,000 job in one night. Where average in the work world, we will do about $3,000 to $4,000 a day. That's a full day, if on particular materials. But when we would send large crews, we had other helpers come in. In 4 hours time after hours, we could kill a $10,000 job. Which now I flash back about how the fuck we did this, because I like, after my days of work now, I'm thinking about how the hell did we go to work from 6 to 2:30 all the way to 2:30 to 7:30, and then wake up and do it again the next day. And at that time I was young. I was a young buck, but
Bro, you're talking like you old now, bro.
no. Let me explain. When I say young buck, my uncle was my age when he was doing this, and he was about 40, and he had a kid. So I looked at him the other day, and I was like, I don't know how the fuck we had the energy to do this. But yeah, so that's how we started, at least before I started my company. And then when he gave me his truck and I started my business, I started pulling a lot more work. And for the first 2-3 years, the way we functioned was we would just do after hours and weekends. But then we got so much work that it got to a point where I think on my third year in business, my uncle took his longest running crew and had them run all of our personal work. So one week would be my work he'd take, and the next week it'd be him. And we did that all the way up until COVID, which then the chaos came, because if anyone that owned any type of construction company during COVID, if they weren't busy, they were doing something wrong. That was when...
Really? I would think that during COVID everything would kind of go quiet.
No,
so you guys got busier.
We tripled. Anybody,
Really?
I made more money during the COVID years because we thought that's what it was going to be once COVID hit. We thought everything was going to shut down. We didn't know what was going to happen, but then we pretty much realized that there was a dumpster sitting in front of everyone's house. You probably remember driving around. You saw dumpsters everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. It's okay if you didn't. Did you see the dumpsters?
No,
everywhere?
no, I'm not familiar
Legitimately,
with it.
dumpsters were in every front yard because all the vacation money that they were spending, everything that they
use it to
would
renovate.
normally,
Okay.
There's a large vacation budget. These people that had like hundreds of thousands of dollars, their vacation budget was like $30,000 a year. Well, that's a new kitchen right there, or a bathroom, or a backyard. Okay. And everyone's sitting here during COVID just looking at their house and like, I don't like this. Let's go do this. So the dumpsters were just in everybody's house. So if you did not grow during COVID, you were doing something fucking wrong, or you were not good in your industry, and it was showing, because even the people that had bad reputations were getting business. But it was around that time that I did get the bad news around 2020. My uncle goes, I apologize, but I can't give you Marcus. And I go, well, that fucking sucks. Like, what am I supposed to do? And he literally shrugged his shoulders. I don't know, I got too much work. And thank fucking God that company my dad was working for, they pissed my father off. They had a new person going in his truck every other day, because he was the guy that would train the guys, and also he was the person that would figure out whether or not you're going to quit, or he'd make you quit because you just didn't have it. But during COVID, he's of the age, he's like, I'm not getting COVID with all these people coming in and out of my truck. This is all set. So fortunately, I was able to adopt him and bring him onto my company, which was a blessing in disguise, because that's really how my income tripled. Because we don't make the most money subcontracting for somebody, but we do utilize their assets. So a lot of people ask me, well, why don't you just do the work yourself, or like just have your own shop and all the material? I go, the simplest way to not get too complicated is I know every fence supplier and company locally to me. Think of how we design our company is we're leveraging off the larger company and we give them something to get something. So we give them one of our trucks to do all their complicated technical commercial work or anything that might be residential. That's pretty much on all of our job says extremely hard, difficult, top crew. Pretty much is what any one of my crews will get because basically that's the penance we pay. Which again, some days it's rewarding, other days I want to bang my head up against the wall, the shit that they give me. But point being is we give one truck to do that, and what we get in return is access to their entire infrastructure. They're a $35 million company, and they have 3 shops. It would take me a lifetime to obtain all that. I get to utilize their concrete dumpsters, and I can get material quicker than I could if I went through any other supplier. Basically, I've learned through doing this, don't bite the hand that feeds me has allows us to grow our company, and we have plans in the future for when my uncle and my dad, when they decide to step down from the install position, how we're planning to keep this running with our current relationships.